The following may contain strong opinionated views. The views and opinions expressed on this show does not necessarily reflect the views or the opinions of any social media or broadcast platform.
Hi, welcome to Talk Back Live, a show that gets you involved in live conversations and sports with Brian Camp on Sports Update, bringing you the latest developments in today's world of sports. And now, here's your hosts Frank Allan and Brian Camp.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant night to each and every one of you in your different time zones around the world and across the country. Here we are once again. It's another Thursday. It's 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's Friday morning, 12 midnight in London. It's 2 a.m. in Israel, and it's 9 a.m. in Tokyo, Japan. We want to welcome you and thank you once again for joining us right here for another edition of Talk Back Live. This is an hour program, and we meet every Thursday at this time. We get together and have good conversation. We come to you live from New York. That's where we originate. But keep in mind that just because we originate in New York, we don't stop there because we go all over the world. It's a global show, and we want to invite each and every one of you to participate in the show. And we're going to ask you to do that by using your computer, on your keyboard, on your tablet, on your telephone, and just use your fingers and let them tickle those keyboard numbers and letters and say whatever you want to say. And I'll see you right there on that big screen. And of course, I will entertain all of your thoughts and ideas and of opinions, because that's what the show is all about. Free exchange of ideas and of opinion. Now, all of us have them, so we want to exchange them. We want to listen to you, and we want to listen to others. And of course, we'll put it all together and make it a good show. We thank you again, once again. And those of you who have been around with us for a long time, we always thank you so much for that. If you're here and you've been here for years, we want to thank you for putting up with us all of these years. And for the people who may be possibly new, the show works like this. As the host of the show, I get things going in the prep moment. And while I'm prepping and at any time at all, as I said, you can use your keyboard on your device and type in whatever you want to talk about. And then we'll entertain all of your thoughts and ideas. You can do that. And if there's anything in particular, specifically, that you want to talk about, feel free. We're always open to ideas, and we're always open to certain topics. We just want you to be diplomatic about it. And of course, if it's important to you, it's got to be important to all of us, and we'll share all of the ideas. We're so we're so glad to have you along with us, and I've said that 100 times already, didn't I? I just can't thank you enough. Anyway, for the people who are new, we come on two different platforms. You can watch us live on two different platforms. We're live on YouTube, and we're also live on Facebook. And a lot of you, you can use whatever platform you want to use. You'll get a chance to see the show. We've got a lot of good things in store for you, a lot of good conversation. There's so many things that have been happening all week, and we want to talk about it. And as I said, you can throw your 2 cents in as well, and we'll talk about it. But in the meantime, make sure you tell your family and friends. Now, what I want you to do is to share your platform with others. In other words, if you're watching us on YouTube, cut and paste the platform on YouTube. The same thing with Facebook. Facebook, call it tagging. All right, cut and paste the platform that you're on. That's the link of where you are, and pass it along to as many friends and relatives as you possibly can, or if you want, as many as you can. I know a lot of you have friends on your Facebook page, and you could share it all with them. So please do that. We look forward to that, because the more the merrier. The more that they see you and the more that you send it out, the more we'll expand here. So we look forward to that, okay? We look forward to that. Remember, all of the views and the opinions expressed on this show, Talk Back Live, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinion of the people of YouTube, Facebook, Zoom, or any other social media outlet or broadcast facility. Well, we've got a show planned for you. Brian, my co-host, will be here any minute. Before we introduce him, I want to let you know that he's going to also be here with sports. He has the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. That's coming along pretty soon, and he'll tell you more about that when he comes in. Also, we have this day in history. Now, we go down the line on this day in history. On this day in history, we have a laundry list of everything. Now, we know that on this day, and here we are, we're March 12th, and on this day, something happened, and we have that for you. So we're going to recite all of those things that are coming up this day in history. Okay. And today could be a history making day. I'm pretty sure it is the way things are going on today. Also, later on in the program, before it's all over, we've got for you those movies. Now, each week, I plan to go on the Turner Classic Movie Vault, right? I go there every week and pick out the best movies that I could find that you may enjoy, because I always pick them out. They're called my picks of the week, and it's for your weekend. Now, a lot of you guys do a lot of things on the weekends, whatever that may be. You do whatever you do on the weekend, and on top of that, you may want to catch up on some old movies. Now, that's where I come in, because I always bring you the classic movies, and I know that you're resourceful. You come out and you have all of the things that you need, all of these apps that you have, these they're free apps. Some of them are premium, and you like to go on and check out the movies. But I just want to throw my 2 cents in there and give you what I have, movies of the week. Okay, that's all coming up, and so you stand by for that. We'll give you all of that. That's coming up, and that's just before the show is over. Well, here we are in the month of March, as I said, in the month of March. And of course, the month of March, we are celebrating Irish Heritage Month. For the whole month of March, we're going to be talking about this for the whole month of March. We're celebrating Irish American Heritage Month. That's all here. Now, if you are Irish descent, or you're from the old land itself, because we do broadcast in Ireland too, so you can pick us up there. But if you happen to be here in the United States and you like to celebrate Irish, and you like to talk about more about the heritage of the Irish, feel free. We listen to you. Now, the ironic thing, now the 17th of this month, which is next week, sometime next week, we're going to have St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day, that's on the 17th. What day does that fall on? The 17th. I have to look at that. The 17th is on Tuesday. So that's this coming Tuesday. This coming Tuesday is St. Patrick's Day. Now, you may want to talk about that. All right. You may want to talk about that because there are a lot of plans for that, and a lot of things are happening. So that's what we're celebrating. St. Patrick's Day, the Irish. The luck of the Irish. That's what I say. Also, the whole month, we're celebrating National Women's History Month. Now, this is something that Brian is going to be taking care of too. When he comes in, he's going to be telling us about a lot of history of the women. Women did a lot of things, a lot of great things for this country. They actually did a lot of great things for this country. And I think Brian has some information on what happened this month. And all this month, he's going to be doing that. So he's got that coming for you. So that's Women's History Month. Also, for this whole month, too, we'll be talking about that as well. It's also Red Cross Month. Now, Red Cross was something that going way back, long before all of us were born. Red Cross was here. People have subscribed to that, has used it. The people in wartime has used it. And so we just bring it out here for the whole month to let you know that we're going to pay interest to that. And if you want to know more about that, it's easy to go on and find out what it's really all about. And then you could learn more about it. And that's a good thing too. Also, it's National Popcorn Lovers Day. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make it up. National Popcorn Lovers Day. So if you're getting ready to do sports, and a lot of you are going to be watching sports this weekend, get your popcorn ready, because that's all coming up. Also, it's National Girl Scout Day. Now, I haven't heard about that in a long time. National Girl Scout Day. Okay. And I didn't get my Girl Scout cookies. Did anyone knock on your door, Brian, for Girl Scout cookies, selling you Girl Scout cookies? I haven't seen that in a long time.
No, we have. They don't do that bit rarely anymore. What they do, they like set up in the neighborhood and put signs throughout the neighborhood. Girl Scout cookies this way, left. Girl Scout cookies. They make a right. So what they do is they actually make signs and for
Mhm.
you to buy. And people actually have done that. And I think that what they do is they just more like for example at Walmart, we have our Walmart over here, and they actually have a sign as soon as you come to the Walmart mall. They have a big old sign that says Girl Scout cookies, and Girl Scout cookies has been a major hit for years.
Yeah.
You just can't say no, you know.
Yeah. Exactly. You
Mhm.
see those little young girls with the puppy dog eyes. They come knock on your door. Would you like to buy some cookies? How are you going to say no to that? How are you going to say
It-
no? But you're
It's hard
right.
to say no. It's
Yeah, it
hard to
is.
say, you
It
know.
is. I have.
My favorite is the mint.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, yeah.
that's my favorite one. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But anyway, that's what we've got celebrating all month long. National. Well, that's for today, National Girl Scout Day. So, Girl Scouts, salute. I promise to do my best to do my duty to God and my country. Well, that's how the Boy Scouts and the Cub Scouts used to do it. I was in the Boy Scouts and the Cub Scouts. They kicked me out. Anyway, so how you been?
Doing good. Doing good. Had had a little pinched nerve episode um
Ouch.
all day today. Yeah. So went to the doctor. Doctor said, "Don't worry about it." Actually, I had it 2 weeks ago. Went to the
Uh,
emergency room. They said it's a pinched nerve. And my mistake was that when I did not finish my medication once they gave it to me. So once it stopped hurting, that's just me. I just leave it alone. Don't need to take it anymore. I should have finished it. It's like whenever the doctor give you antibiotics, you got to
yeah,
finish the whole thing regardless.
you
And
should. Yeah,
same thing
you
was here.
should.
So I had like another episode of it for like the last couple of days. Now I'm feeling better because when you take muscle relaxer, that thing will knock you out. You stay sleepy and everything.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. Anyway, you got sports coming up later on, and in conjunction with that, you're going to give us some information on for this whole month, for the rest of the month, because we're celebrating Women's History Month. Now we have to do this now, because if we don't, the women they're going to get all up in arms about it and say you didn't say anything about it. So you got information, right,
I
this
have
week for that.
information. Yes, yes. Have
Yeah.
information for all month. I have one for sports and one for out of sports. So, yeah. So I have it ready. You got to make sure that you got to keep the women happy. If not, if not,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because they're listening. They're listening. One thing about a woman, and one of the things that you learn about a woman too, is that you have to listen to them. Whenever they say something, you listen to them. Because if you don't, they will let you know you're not listening. You're not paying attention to what I'm saying. They let you know.
that's right. That's
You
right.
ought to know that. You
That's
ought to
right.
know that.
Oh yeah. If you keep a happy home, you just got to say yes, dear. Yes, okay. Anything you say, blah blah blah.
But the other thing is too, when you do that, they say, don't patronize me or don't patronize me.
Yeah.
So you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
No one situation. Just to keep a happy, quiet home. Just do what you have to do, and just to keep them happy. My wife's birthday is tomorrow, so
Oh,
happy birthday to her. And I want to go to a nice restaurant, and
yeah,
want to go to a nice jazz, but
yeah,
couldn't find anything yet. But we'll make up something along the way,
yeah.
either this weekend or the following weekend.
Well, there are three things that you should never ever forget if you're a married person. Number one is the wedding anniversary. Number two is the birthday, and number three, Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah.
Now, did I miss anything else? I want to
Um,
cover all the bases.
Birthday,
I,
anniversary,
I mentioned that.
and
Those are the,
Valentine's Day. Yeah.
yeah, I think I
Uh-huh.
covered it all. Okay, so there you go. If you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. Brian Kemp is my host, my co-host with me, and he's here every week. And sometimes with the coffee hour, I'm going to ask you in advance, what does it look like for that tomorrow?
It looks like a 95% yes that I will do the whole thing. Um,
Oh,
yeah. So, I
sounds
just
good.
gotta cut around some edges and everything, and so to make it happen. But yeah, I should be able to.
Okay, good. Okay. Jennifer Runyon, best known for her role as Gwendolyn Pierce on the classic sitcom Charles in Charge, died last Friday. Runyon's first, or her friend, Erin Murphy, who starred as the young Tabitha Stevens on Bewitched, confirmed that the actress passed away after a brief cancer incident. Uh, Runyon was born in Chicago, Illinois, and she was born June 1st, 1960, the daughter of a famed DJ radio announcer and sometime TV personality, Jim Runyon. Jennifer took no time following her in her father's footsteps when she secured her first screen role in the 1980 slasher To All a Good Night. She was 65. Tommy DiCarlo, the lead singer of the rock band Boston, has died. The musician who became the band's frontman in 2007 died on Monday at after a battle with brain cancer. DiCarlo joined Boston after its original lead singer Brad Delp, I believe Delp, that's DELP, died in 2007. And DiCarlo, who was working as a credit manager at his local Home Depot before landing his dream role as the band's lead singer, got the attention of Boston after unloading cover records of Boston songs on his MySpace page. Carlo was 60 years old, and now that I got through all of that, I think it's time for sports. Are you ready?
Yeah, I think everybody should be ready. Come on.
There's a lot.
Can I
We got
hear
a
it?
lot. Let's hear it. Clap your hands. Send out a clap emoji or something. Let us know that you're there.
Yeah.
Okay. How's it look?
Okay. Well, we're at that place where March Madness is here. March is here, but it's building up.
Mhm.
Sunday is Selection Sunday, which means that they're having the tournaments now. You may see that the men are going to have their selection on Sunday. Around 6 o'clock, you will have your bracket all set of March Madness. Okay, the women they already had theirs already. They will announce their bracket coming up. March Madness is that time of the year where college basketball for men, both men and women, take over the month. It's the month where there's baseball is like underway, is have their spring training. In fact, baseball will start at the end of March. Basketball is about to be approaching their playoff season coming up, and along with hockey and football. Well, football is not out yet, but we are. But this is the time where we are going to have it, and we're going. Like I said, Selection Sunday is it's on Sunday. By next week, uh, it will be underway, March Madness and everything. We won't announce anything about what teams are ranked number one seeds. We will find that out next on this coming Sunday, but we will reveal it next week as well. So let's here we go. In the NBA, the NBA has canceled the Atlanta Hawks plans for a celebration of City Magic City Strip Club, saying money that it was responsible said it was responding to concerns from many across the league. The event was supposed to happen March 16th, coming up during a game against the Orlando Magic. Orlando announced that the plan for last month, calling it a tribute to an iconic culture institution with food, including with the club's lemon pepper wings, a version of which is named for former Hawks guard Lou Williams, along with music and exclusive merchandise. I'm glad that what they're doing that they're gonna not have this here. Um, Let me very quickly say you don't put a strip club pertaining towards the NBA where adults are bringing their kids to games and stuff like that, NBA games. And in some reports many people thought it was a bad idea because they're stereotyping people of color, saying that all we'd like to do is go to strip clubs and things like that. So the NBA recognized it immediately and pulled out of it and said that no, we're not doing this. So I'm glad that they're doing this. We don't need it. Um, and it's not good for the league and it's not good for kids. But some plans for merchandise has been scrappled as a live recording of a podcast that was featured Hawks primary owner Jamie Getz, Ti, and Magic City founder Michael Barney. Plans for the celebration were met with mixed reaction, as I explained to you a second ago. One NBA player, Luke Cornett of the San Antonio Spurs, spoke out against the idea of promoting a strip club and urged the parties' involvement to reconsider, which they did. The NBA was smart enough to back out of it. So I'm glad that they're not doing that. It just doesn't. It just not great for the young kids. You don't want to give them ideas. Major League Baseball former National League President Bill White will receive the Buck O'Neil Lifetime Achievement Award from Baseball Hall of Fame on July 25th. The 92-year-old White, as a former star, player, and broadcaster, will be honored alongside with Jeff Kent. The Hall said on Monday. Jeff Kent, Carlos Beltran, and Andrew Jones also be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Bill White, he was a New York Yankee broadcaster, as many of you people know that live in the New York area. He was a broadcaster for the New York Yankees from 1971 to 1988. Then he became baseball first black league president when he succeeded A. Bartlett Giamatti. White served in the office from 1989 to 1994. Birthdays this month. Today, March 12th, 1985, Larry Bird scores with Boston a record 60 points. We're not doing baseball. I'm sorry. This day in sports. 1987, David Robinson scores 50 points in the NCAA basketball game. 2020, NCAA tournament is canceled over concerns of the spread of COVID-19. Remember, they had canceled that back in 2020, so they decided not to have it because of the spread of COVID. 1936, Eddie Sutton, Hall of Famer, NCAA coach, took a team, was born in Buckland, Kansas. Now we're doing birthdays. Happy birthday to Dale Murphy, who was born in 1956. Major League outfielder, 7-time All-Star and 2-time MVP. 5-time Gold Glove, was born in Portland, Oregon. I'm still fighting for him to go into the major leagues. This man deserved to be in the Hall of Fame, so we're trying to get him into the Hall of Fame. 1958, Matt Millen, NFL linebacker, 4-time Super Bowl champion with the Raiders, was born in Hokendaquah, Pennsylvania. You try pronounce that. I couldn't. 1962, Darryl Strawberry, Major League Baseball and ordained minister, 3-time World Series champion, 1983 Rookie of the Year, was born in Los Angeles, California. Happy birthday, 1965, Steve Finley, Major League Baseball outfielder, World Series champion, 5-time Gold Glove, was born in Union City, Tennessee. 1965, Steve Levy, sports journalist for ESPN Monday Night Football and the and the National Hockey League, was born in New York City, New York. And happy in 1971, happy birthday to Isaiah Ryder, NBA guard, 2001 champ, slam dunk champion, was born in Oakland, California. Now we're gonna have Women's Month. Now I did some research. What can I do? What can I find? A woman, randomly it comes to me when I sit down and think. If you ever been to my house, sometimes I gotta, you see all these pictures of history and everything. So what I did for this day, for Women's Month, this is a series. You ever heard of a disc jockey called Elizabeth Good Dudley?
No, no, but I'm
Never
gonna
heard of
learn,
her.
right? No, I never
Okay.
heard of
Okay. She's a disc jockey. Was a disc jockey. Uh, she hold a very important place in popular music, bridging the gap between artists and listeners. Many famous DJs have been instrumental in bringing the latest music to the masses. One name that doesn't come up often, however, is the game changer. Her name was Mary D, but her real name is Elizabeth Good Dudley. She's the first black female disc jockey in the United States who broadcast from Hills District. Mary D was revolutionary, among the first DJs to become a national figure. Her show on Pittsburgh's WHOD attracted hundreds of thousands of listeners from 1948 to 1956. At the height of her popularity, she had a studio interview um, from 1946 to 1956. At her height of popularity, she had a studio interview, so like stars, hosted public events, and promoted new talent. She also used her status to bring attention to issues in the black community. After she left Pittsburgh in 1956, she remained on the air and became a fixture in Baltimore and Philadelphia until her death in 1964. Uh, Dee was born, like I said, Elizabeth Good Dudley in 1912 in Homestead, Pennsylvania. Her parents, excuse me, William and Mary, the children of enslaved people, moved to the Pittsburgh area in the late 1800s, driven and keen to express herself. Dee graduated from Saint Man. Let me see, St. Man Radio School in Pittsburgh in 1948. And when WOD when WHOD started up soon after, she applied for a job. Though the station turned her down, she persisted and was finally offered a 15-minute moving around the with Mary D. Went on the air and quickly exploded in popularity. Within months, her airtime increased to an hour, and she soon had a new segment, highly successful, faith-based gospel train. People from all walks of life would tune in to her. By the 1950s, she had established herself as WHOD's shining star, interviewing people like Jackie Robinson, Sarah Vaughan, Tony Bennett, Nat King Cole, Eartha Kitt, and countless other celebrities. In 1951, the station gifted her Sandra D on the Century and Heron Avenues in the Hill. D gave her community as much as it gave her committed to civil rights. She used her platform to address black issues of the day. She frequently had her brother Malvin, called nickname Mal, Good, a reporter with the Courier, on her show to cover black news. Good who went on to become the first black newsman employed by ABC, tackled the latest segregation and police brutality. Dee also believed in giving a voice to young people who she gave music popularity and teenagers, such as rock and roll, MC teen clubs, and had a teen segment hosted by her daughter, Sherilyn or Little D. Additionally, she promoted the careers of obscure comers and served as a mentor for Black children, such as future guitarist George Benson. So she is the first woman of color to become a DJ and build her way up to where she was and everything. So, she faces some, she had faced some difficulties back in the 50s, of course, during segregation, but she is an icon. So I thought about it was only the right to bring in her as a DJ, and that's why I chose her. So
I knew you mentioned Mal Good. I knew him. I used to work with him.
the husband,
No, no, was that her husband? Did you say that was her husband?
um,
He was a broadcaster.
it was a broadcaster, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I knew him because I used to work with him. That was
Malvin Good, that's his name, Malvin.
yeah, but they called him Mel. A Mal
Mal,
Good. M-A-L.
Mal,
Mal
Mal,
Good.
yeah, Mal
But it
Good,
was
yeah.
Malvin, yeah, but we called him Mal. Mal
Uh,
Good. Yep. I used to work,
interesting.
I knew him. But and
Uh,
she was married to him?
she was married to him, yeah. Hmm.
I didn't know that. See, you
Yeah.
learn something for every day.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Well, I thought I would get something out of that thing, but no, I didn't know who she was. Never met her. Never knew who she was. But Mal, I knew.
Okay, yeah. So now I'm not gonna be so long with this one for women in sports. We're gonna do horse racing. With more than 3,700 wins, Julie Crone is the leading woman thoroughbred horses as racing jockey of all time. Raised on a horse farm in Eau Claire, Michigan, Crone began riding horses at an early age and was the first woman, I'll say this, the first woman to ever win the Triple Crown. Now, she didn't do it all in one year, but she won the Triple Crown, which is the Preakness, the Belmont Stakes, and the Kentucky Derby. And she's the first, and still is the only woman to ever win the Triple Crown. Early on in life, she um, grew up riding a horse at a very young age, soon became the first woman to ever be leading riding in Monmouth Park, which is the Meadowlands and the Belmont Parkway. That's where they have those famous ridings in New York City. And that's sports.
Well, you know something. There's nothing limited to women. Not today. They can do anything. So whatever jobs that men dominated back in the old days, no longer, because women can do them just as well. And I tell you one thing, I'll switch gears a little bit. I'll go to the gym and I'll look at a woman and she'll pump like maybe 200 pounds of weight. 200 pounds. I said, I'm not going to mess with her.
Yeah.
200 pounds of weights. But yeah, there's nothing limited. So and I'm glad that we put that out there. It is Women's History Month. And so that's what we got going. And you know something, Brian, switching gears again, and this comes under sports. This is local for us, not for you. But the New York Marathon is coming this weekend.
Street
So
closures.
yeah, oh, yeah, oh God, that's one of the things that people hate about that marathon. You know, either you make early plans or leave wherever you have to do or be wherever you have to be early because it's going to start early, or either just stay home because you just won't. I made one mistake one time. I drove on a marathon day and I couldn't get to where I was going. So I had to go back home. And I couldn't even get back home in time because I was blocked in between all of it. But anyway, nevertheless, it's coming up this weekend. It's a busy week. And as I mentioned earlier in the show, on the 17th, we got a St. Patrick's Day parade coming up in New York. Now, I'm pretty sure St. Patrick's will celebrate a lot of parades all over the nation, but there's nothing like a St. Patrick's Day parade in New York. It's nothing like it. It,
It's
it,
nothing like it.
it tops all.
Subways, the subways. I got caught one year in the St. Patrick's Day parade. At
Mhm,
that time, I was in college. I went to Hunter College in New York City,
mhm.
and you're talking about the subway
Yeah,
was full of vomit and people hugging you and drunk and everything. It was St. Patrick's Day. Only the Irish could really give you a good, great parade and everything. But when you're involved in a parade, you sometimes you might have to park your car in a couple
mhm,
of days in advance
yeah,
because in certain areas in New York City, you cannot park your car. It's
yeah.
incredible.
I think the most busier events, I can only speak for New York. The most busier events is when people go to see the ball drop in Times Square and the St. Patrick's Day parade. I think those are like the busier. And talk about saloon bars and saloons. They're going to be open. You're going to have a ticket to get in one.
Oh
That's
yeah.
how just that's how it is. It's a big celebration. It's been like that for many years. So we're going to be busy here in New York with the marathon and then St. Patrick's Day and a lot of other things. And just saying that St. Patrick's Day, all of this month, I'm going to repeat what I said earlier because I don't know if you heard me earlier, but we're celebrating St. Patrick's Day. No, I'm sorry, Irish American week month, Irish American month, Irish Heritage American month all month long. So we'll be talking about that all month long. Busy day, busy
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
Yeah.
that's
I
good.
I have something lined up for next week for
Mhm.
um for Irish women. So
Okay,
um
that's good.
so yeah, so I have something lined up for you for all of that. I am not going to tell you that right now. You got to come in and join us so
Yeah.
you'll be able to hear us.
Okay, we look forward to that. Did you know also, well, everything is going on strong. Also, want to say something about the Oscars. The Oscars will be this Sunday. It's the 98th Academy Award. That's 98th Academy. Those are the Oscars. And it's going to air on Sunday, the 15th. It's going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Conan O'Brien is going to be the MC. He's going to be doing that. It's going to be live on ABC and it's going to be streaming on Hulu. And it's going to be taking place live at the Adobe Theater in Los Angeles. So anyone that's interested in the Oscars, get your popcorn ready, get ready. I really don't watch those kind of shows anymore like I used to. You know, I used to watch all of the music shows like the Grammys and all when I was a disc jockey because when you go on the air the following day you want to have something intelligent to talk about and now that I'm retired from that I don't have to worry about it anymore, but you basically know where it's going to go and who's going to win. You basically know that before it happens, so I don't it's not a mystery anymore to me.
Yeah.
But for the benefit of the
Yeah.
people who want to indulge in it, it's right there for you. Okay, you're just joining us. That's
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
Brian Camp, my co-host. He just gave you the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. The name of the show is called Talk Back Live. So let's go back in time, Brian, because back in time, we're going to go back in time on this day in history. On this day in history, you remember this year, 1912. Remember that? You were here, right? No
I
comment.
wasn't here
Okay.
yet. If you reverse the numbers 1921 or 1912, I wasn't here yet. No.
Okay. Anyway, that year, the Helen Hayes Theater, which was called back in those days the Little Theater, opens in New York City. On this day in history in 1919, George Bernard Shaw's comedy Pay Augusta does his bit premieres in New York City. On this day in history in 1947, U.S. President Harry Truman introduces the Truman Doctrine to fight communism. On this day in history, 1957, Random House and Houghton Mifflin, that's the co-publish. They co-published The Cat in the Hat by Dr. Seuss. On this day in history, 1964, WKAB TV, Channel 32 in Montgomery, Alabama, ABC station starts broadcasting. On this day in history in 1965, Willie Billy, the single released by Sam the Sham and the Pharaohs. On this day in history in 1969, the 11th Grammy Awards was By the Time I Get the Phoenix. That was the song that was done by Glenn Campbell. That won the best record. On this day in history, 1971, the Allman Brothers Band recorded their live album, Live at the Fillmore East, on this day and then the day following. On this day in history, 1973, Rowan Martin's Laugh-In last aired on NBC. On this day in history in 1980, Columbia Records releases Glass House. Singer-songwriter Billy Joel, that's his seventh studio album featuring his first number one single, It's Still Rock and Roll to Me, back in 1992. Rock for the Rainforest benefit concert held at Carnegie Hall. Performers include Sting, Elton John, James Taylor, Natalie Cole, and Don Henley. On this day in history, 1993, Cleveland radio station WMMS FM 101.7 is brought by Disney. 1993, Entertainment Tonight hosts its 3000th show. On this day in history in 1998, The Sound of Music opens at the Martin Beck Theater in New York City. In 2007, the second Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees, which include Grandmaster Flash and the Furies, the Furies 5, REM, the Ronettes, Patti Smith, and Van Halen. On this day in history, 1921, singer and actor Gordon McCrae was born in East Orange, New Jersey. He died in 1986. On this day in history, 1932, politician Andrew Young was born in New Orleans, Louisiana. On this day in history, 1933, actor Barbara Feldman, who played 99 on Get Smart, was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. In 1940, singer Al Jarreau was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and he died in 2017. Singer Liza Minnelli was born on this day in 1949 in Hollywood, California. She's 80 today, so happy birthday. Politician Mitt Romney was born on this day in 1947 in Detroit, Michigan. He's 79. Singer James Taylor was born on this day in 1948 in Boston, Massachusetts, and he's 78 years old today. Politician Tammy Duckworth was born on this day in 1968 in Bangkok, Thailand, and she's 58 today. In 1969, Jake Tapper of CNN was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He's 57 today. 1968, actress Maureen O'Hara marries her third husband, aviator Charles F. Blair Jr. In 1969, Beatle Paul McCartney marries Linda Eastman in London. In 1970, comedian actor Phil Hartman weds his first wife, Gretchen Lewis. They got divorced in 1972. In 1992, actress Annette Bening marries actor Warren Beatty. Entrepreneur, engineer George Westinghouse died on this day in 1914 at the age of 67. And he was born October 6, 1846 in Central Bridge, New York. In 1947, Winston Churchill died on this day, and he was born in 1871. Jazz musician Charlie Parker, the Birdman, died on this day at the age of 34 years old from lobar pneumonia and bleeding ulcer, and he was born in 1920. August 29th of that year. And he was born in Kansas City, Kansas. In 1971, actor Ray Glenn dies of a heart attack. Ray Glenn, if you remember, if you watch that movie, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, he plays Sidney Poitier's father. Anyway, he died from a heart attack at the age of 56. In 2001, talk show host Morton Downey Jr., he was one of my favorite guys. He died on this day. And he was born in 1933. And that's what's happening on this day in history. And those of you who may know something that's happening on this day in history, right off the cuff, if you know anything, let us know, because we would like to add it on, because we don't know everything here. We only read off what we get here. And by the way,
I also want to add to Ernie Onassis of ABC News passed away too today.
yeah,
Got that notice a couple of hours ago at the age
yeah,
of 82.
yeah. He was a local boy here in New York. I don't know if he was born and raised here, but he did the news at ABC TV here in New York City. I know that. Yeah, I was going to get around to that, but now I don't have to. That lightens the load a bit. Remember, if you have any questions or you want to get in touch with me or Brian or whatever you want to talk about this show, or you have any questions, please get in touch with us. If you're celebrating a birthday, or maybe you want to critique our show, which we encourage because we would like to know where we stand with you. Just give us a shout out. All right. I have an email address and a telephone number. I'll give you the email address first. Email address is frankallenprod at AOL.com. That's frankallenprod at AOL.com. Remember, the Allan is spelled Allan because there's a zillion ways to spell Allan, so you want to get it right if you want to get in touch with me. Allan. Frank Allen Prod. Prod is PROD. That's short for Productions. frankallenprod at AOL.com. That's frankallenprod at AOL.com. Telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. Keep all of that information in all of your devices, such as your computer, whether it's laptop or desktop, your tablet, or your phone. And just in case you're looking forward to getting in touch with us, if one isn't available, you have the other one to fall back on. Okay? So let me give you that address again, frankallenprod at AOL.com. That's frankallenprod at AOL.com. Telephone number, once again, is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. Okay, now, I have those movies. We're going to clear that out of the way before we get into anything else. I have movies of the week. I have 6 movies this week. Okay. I have 6 movies, and they're all classic movies. They're all classics. I take them directly from Turner Classic Movies. They're my picks of the week for your weekend. So if you want to sit back, relax, and catch up on some movies, I have a few right here. So let's get started. Here's one of my favorite movies because it depicts my favorite baseball team, the Pride of the Yankees, back in 1942, starring Gary Cooper, Teresa Wright, and Babe Ruth is even in it. You're not going to do the Pride of the Yankees without Babe Ruth. And you can see that on Saturday at 1:45 a.m. Eastern. Okay, that's late for you. DVR it and watch it later at your very own convenience. That's Saturday at 1:45 a.m. Eastern, Friday night, Saturday morning. Another classic, My Man Godfrey from 1936. William Powell and Carol Lombard. That's Turner Classic Movies. You can check that out. That's Saturday at 10:15 p.m. Eastern. Here's another classic that kind of spun off High Society with Frank Sinatra and Bing Crosby. This one is called The Philadelphia Story from 1940, starring Cary Grant, Katharine Hepburn, and James Stewart. Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 12 a.m. Eastern. And another one, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane? Betty Davis, Joan Crawford, and Victor Bono. Turner Classic Movies, Sunday at 7:45 a.m. Eastern. And here's another one of my favorite too. I love this man. He's so talented with his feet. Singing in the Rain with Gene Kelly, 1942. And Donald O'Connor, along with Debbie Reynolds. It's Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 10:15 a.m. Eastern. And finally, here's something that's played once a year, and this is the right time to play it because it gives credence to, well, I used the word wrong, credence, but it gives a commemoration to the Oscars. And that's the name of the movie, The Oscar, from 1952. Stephen Boyd, Elkie Summer, and Milton Berle. Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So go to Turner Classic Movies, go down the list because there may be other movies that you may like that I haven't mentioned, but these are my picks of the week. And you could add that to your list of movies on what to watch this weekend. You can do that. And also, while you're there, you could check out all of the free movies and the pay-per-view movies and movies of sports and children's programming, documentaries, all there. All of the networks are there. You can find out if you missed your favorite soap opera, you can go back and check it out the following day. And some of the sports you could watch sometimes without commercial interruptions. Sometimes, not all the time, sometimes, but it's there for you. So let me give you these movies quickly once again. Let's start from the top. Pride of the Yankees with Gary Cooper, Teresa Wright, and Babe Ruth. My Man Godfrey with William Powell and Carol Lombard. That's Turner Classic Movies. That's Saturday at 10:15 p.m. Eastern. Did I mention the time for Pride of the Yankees? That's Saturday at 1:45 a.m. Eastern. The Philadelphia Story. Cary Grant, Katharine Hepburn, and James Stewart. Turner Classic Movies. Sunday at 12 a.m. Eastern. And Whatever Happened to Baby Jane with Betty Davis, Joan Crawford, and Victor Bruno. That's Tuesday, Turner Classic Movies, Sunday at 7:45 a.m. Eastern. And Singing in the Rain with Gene Kelly, Donald O'Connor, Debbie Reynolds, Turner Classic Movies, Sunday at 10:15 a.m. Eastern. And The Oscar, Stephen Boyd, Elkie Summer, and Milton Berle, Turner Classic Movies, Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Take a gander at all of these movies. They're great. They're great movies. You have a whole line of great movies. I mentioned Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? And I mentioned Katharine Hepburn, right? I mentioned her. Here's a little known fact. Since I mentioned Katharine Hepburn, here's a little known fact. Now, next time you go to a cocktail party, you could say, oh, I know this, I know that. But here's something that you didn't know. Well, maybe you did know. I don't know. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? You know the girl that played Joey, the daughter?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if anyone realized, but that's Katharine Hepburn's granddaughter in real life.
Wow. Really?
Yep. So the next time you're at a cocktail party, you can say that. You don't have to tell them I told you that, but that's Katharine Hepburn's granddaughter in real life. She played Joey, and she played the opposite of Sidney Poitier, the interracial relationship. But that's Katharine Hepburn's granddaughter. Anyway, that's it for the movies, and we're going to shift off gears, Brian, because, Brian, we are in day 13 of the war right now. I guess we get a little serious right now. Day 13 of the war, and this is the Iran war. And, of course, your favorite person, that guy that lives in that house that America built, not him, but he had the nerve, he had the gall to say, when I want the war to end, it will end. As if Iran didn't have anything to say about that.
Listen, again, I know this sounds like an old dead beat drum, but even his supporters, the people that voted for him, they will not publicly admit it. They will just say behind social media and behind closed doors that they regret voting for him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really a shame. He's going to say the war is over when he says it's over. And here it is. I was looking through the stock market. Gas is up at an all-time high. Couldn't believe how I filled my tank up. It was almost close to $60 out here. And it's getting worse. Yes, we will eventually get over this and move on, but he's just really, really outrageous. And I'm not afraid. I'm not going to back down and say this, but he's just actually ruining this country. And his supporters, these conservatives, they will never admit they're wrong. They will fight to the very end for this man. So that's where we are.
Something when you say ruin the country, I think that's an understatement. See, if I weren't on the air, I would tell you what he has really done to this country. But you get the idea. And you talk about gas prices. According to him, gas went down. According to him, gas went down to $1.99. According to him. Now, someone out there, please tell me and Brian where that is so we can fill our tanks. $1.99. I like to know where that is. $1.99. And now oil went up. Fertilizer went up, and this is a bad time for fertilizers to go up for the farmers. Now this is the season where they start planting things like corn and other vegetables and things like that. This is the time of the year now, and
Oh yeah.
fertilizer sky high. Some people are getting ready to sell their farms because they can't afford it anymore.
It's just ridiculous. Even the farmers um that live upstate in the mountains, you see their Trump signs, you know, they are totally disgusted. The midterms is going to be the key. The
Oh,
midterms, if you know,
yeah.
if they don't turn this around fast, we're looking at a we're looking at major problems even more than now. And that JD Vance, the vice president, they said that he's worse than the president. So the midterms is so important that they got to make sure that they take over the House and take over the Senate and make sure that JD Vance in 2028 do not win this election. Got,
But see,
got to watch
Brian,
out.
that is one of the things that Trump is nervous about. The midterms, he's nervous about it. He's soiling his pants more than does in during the day. But he this is the one thing he's nervous about because when, and I say when, because I don't see the Republicans on the horizon winning anything else, taking back the House or the Senate. When that happens, what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen to him, right? They're going to impeach him, and he's
Yeah.
worried about that because now at that point he's got 2 years in the White House, and they're gonna get him, and he knows it because he said it already. He said, if we lose this, they're going to impeach me.
I think that what's going to happen. He won't, they'll try to impeach him, but as for him going to jail while he's in office, he's going to pardon himself.
Well, I don't know that he can. Can he? Can he pardon himself? The-
Sure, he
the-
could pardon himself. He could pardon anybody he wants. That's right. He
yeah,
could
but I
pardon
think I don't.
himself.
Is it a federal level that he can't pardon himself, or it's a local level? Because they was
Uh,
talking about.
I'm not. I'm not sure,
I
but
got I got to go back and look that up because there's
yeah,
certain things
yeah,
I don't know if it's local or it's federal that he cannot pardon himself. I gotta go back and research that one, and then I'll get back to you on the tomorrow about that. But he is afraid. He is so afraid,
yeah.
and the rest of the MAGA people, they're I don't know, they're still wearing their hats. They're still going out to the rally. You see what he did? He had that big rally
Yeah, but
today.
they're wearing their house hats very loosely now. Nobody wants this war. He
No,
claimed, and before he got to office, he said, "We will not be in any wars."
that's right.
Yeah, really? Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
you
but
know what he refers to the war as? An excursion. Does anyone have a dictionary? He refers to the war as an excursion. But I think
mm,
the word that he was looking for, he wasn't the word that he was really looking for is incursion. Incursion.
mm.
Oh, I'm sorry, incursion. That's the word he was looking for.
Reminds me
Excursion
of Archie
is
Bunker.
yeah.
Remind
Excursion
me
is
of Archie
excursion. No,
Bunker.
excursion. That's the word he was looking for. But
Yeah.
excursion. I mean, what are you on a cruise or something? Is this
Yeah.
war? Do we get to see? Do we get to go on this little mini cruise thing or this mini trip to see the war? That's an excursion?
But right now, all joking aside, I think it's very serious. We're at a serious time because we're on the edge, a brink of World War III with China and Russia, North Korea being involved. We got to be very careful about how long this happens. You don't want to bring boots on the ground. You don't want ground soldiers to come on because whenever you fight foreign countries, you're at a disadvantage. Yes, Iran is is a small country compared to the U.S., but you got to be very careful when you go invade in somebody else's country. This is not Iraq. Iraq is much smaller than Iran.
Mhm.
Iran is bigger than Iraq, and it's a Muslim country. You better be careful because they are not willing. They are not afraid to die. They will die for the cause, and they are going to be relentless. And I tip my hat off to them. They are very determined people. And they had something on the news early this week about Muslims, and even the New York City mayor is going through issues right now, and about his nationality as a Muslim. And I was watching CNN. They don't want Muslims in this country. They're telling them to get out in a very slow, uh, sneaky way when they say that we don't need them here in this country.
We can talk more about this tomorrow too. You're going to be here, right? For
Yeah,
coffee hour, right? Okay, we'll
yeah,
see you then. And for the rest of you guys, thank you so much for being along with us. Come back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Brian Camp will be with me with the coffee hour with the latest developments in today's world of sports. And then you can come back here next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern for more of Talk Back Live. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a wonderful day and a wonderful morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
You've been watching Talk Back Live with Frank Allan and Brian Camp. The producers are Al Dale and Katina Camp. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Talk Back Live.